watch that mist just come up off that river. Beyond them bushes is a minivan, and there's probably a white woman sleeping in it who would rather be homeless than to fucking hook up with me. Maybe she just doesn't know about me, you know? That she could come be in the comfort of my bed, get sex, have food, have someone to interact with every day, have a life every day, share her life with somebody. Of course, she might be one of them stingy fucking bitches that doesn't want to share her life. It's about 7:15, 7:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, September 18th. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be with me all weekend. I know, it's a fate worse than death for him. Lisa and John are going to be busy all weekend. Hopefully they're not going to be gone and leave the cats all fucking stranded. We just been talking about that. The void created for Vinny by the cats. The cat ministry. But yeah, when we headed down here, Lisa dropped him off at about 6:45. It was still dark. And he loves these early morning, still in the dark walks. Just, he loves it. Oh, pardon me. I'm presented with the opportunity. I just couldn't deprive him of it, you know? Because while I was up, y'all know I drank and got drunk last night. About 8 o'clock, I passed out. I didn't have no reason not to, so I did. And I kept waking up and praying to God. Yeah, not God. That's a descriptive of what and who he is, of what he is. But yeah, I prayed to God, yeah, to kill me in my sleep repeatedly. He didn't do it, so he must have something up his sleeve that involves me. Right? That's the railroad tracks right there. Over there, beyond all the bushes across that street, is the state police post. On the other side of the bridge. We're about 3 or 4 blocks away from the house. And they had such a happy walk here. I know Pre-Vinny would have did it if he was up. If he had passed out at 8 o'clock and woke up at 2:30, which was 6.5 hours sleep, theoretically it's enough, but I wanted to get more sleep. I know Pre-Vinny would have wanted to try and get 8 hours sleep, but it wasn't happening. So I printed out the footage from yesterday. We got that uploaded, but it's not done processing. Well, it wasn't when we left. When I left. And Lisa and John brought me the ukulele piece of junk. Not a good ukulele, an old piece of junk ukulele. Like a Amazon ukulele, you know. Ukulele that won't hold a tune, and it's really hard to play. It's not like the one my son bought me. No, it is. If you can go back in time and not do some shit, I would go back and not sell my music gear to put shocks and shit on that van. I would have did shit a whole lot more slow and patient. Since the set needed a trans for months, you know, just sat there, broke down for months. For all that quick work and selling all my gear off at pennies on the dollar did, you know, it was dumb. I do dumb shit. I'm retarded. I should have somebody in my life that, like, she'll second guess a lot of my shit. Like, you know, if Lisa had not been, you know, preoccupied with whatever it was she was preoccupied with at the time, she probably would have second guessed my decision and been like, no, you're not selling that shit to buy fucking socks for that fucking shit. Like that. No, you're gonna wait. I just paid that shit off. I just paid your synthesizer off. Your kid gave you that fucking ukulele for Christmas, you know? See, I've learned, like with Ya, to not hold value to shit. To hold value to, like, what matters, like the living. You know, he matters. You couldn't get me to part with him. I'll give you 1,000 guitars. I'll give you blood from my veins before I'll give you one of my animals. You see, and I know you're thinking, well, yeah, but you walked away from your kitties. But my kitties are taken care of because I walked away. Do you love it enough to leave it? Oh, he's the only man there on the corner. What he's waiting for, I don't know. Oh, but he waits every day now. I guess I'm waiting for that something to show. Oh, nobody knows me, and nobody cares, and there's no hiding place. Dun, 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 dun. There's no hiding place. Dun, 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 dun. For you and me, are we just like all the rest? Looking too hard for something he's got. I'm moving too fast to rest. Like a monkey on your back, you need it. But do you love it enough to leave it? That's where I'm at with my kitties. I love them so much. Pretty. Love some little motherfucker so much, nigga, that he would leave them so they could be took care of. How many of you would abandon your baby so that somebody would take care of it? How many would do that? If you could know for a fact that somebody who's going to take care of your baby if you just walk away, how many of you would do it? You see, you don't have the options that he had with his kitties. He should be grateful. And he cries. He cries for loneliness. Because there was nothing to fill in the void. He wasn't being taken away from his kitties to go accomplish the world or hook up with his next woman or any of that. He got shoved in an old people apartment complex with old judgmental white fucking devils that can't wait to pick him apart and try and get him kicked out of his place. It's like, man, fuck y'all. This is where I'm at with this shit. Y'all don't even matter. This is a temporary timeline and this shit all gets undone. This park never gets created. Fuck this place. I bet you it don't too. I said that shit and I bet you it ain't even here in the next timeline. I gotta go back and check now. We know that everybody American that graduated got transferred to where China was during this timeline. Because, well, there was nobody rich or, you know, that was in royalty or any of the dictatorships of China, you know. There was none of them that graduated to the next timeline. So China got undone because they didn't have no leaders that could graduate. Kind of like America. A bunch of pedophiles and rapists. Fucking goddamn horrible motherfucking mass murdering motherfuckers disguised as leaders. Remember when we thought help from the North meant Putin? Now I'm in the heart of the North and I just keep getting stuck here even no matter what. You know, I would hate for that to be like, that's on Vinny's shoulders. No, because, well, what's he gonna do? This little motherfucker. Come on. He's tiny in this fucking timeline. Aslan's just hanging. He'll hang. He's a little bit shivery. He got wet and cold. Are you cold? We'll walk in a minute, buddy. You won't be cold in a second. You need to come over here and cuddle me. Come over here and cuddle me. Come on. Come on, little man. You little shivery puppy dog. Can't believe you're actually cold. Of course, it is cold as a motherfucker out here. I'm wearing layers and I'm wearing a winter jacket and shit. Winter coat. I came out prepared to walk him a little bit. At least up here and back. Because, well, I knew he was going to love it, and he did, too. He loved it, fucking in the dark walk. He's starting to shiver, so I'm gonna start walking him so he'll warm back up. Got this going, and I got this going. I'm gonna light this back up while we walk. You didn't want your water? Y'all done with your water? Okay. I'm gonna dump it. So I'm gonna put this in my pocket. I had a bag for him when he dookied earlier. I had a bag yesterday and he dookied in a pile of dookie. Some other dog's dookie, so I couldn't pick his dookie up. I just stood there and looked at it and all. I was like, wow. Can't pick your dookie up. You dookied in somebody else's dookie. I gotta pick their dookie up to pick your dookie up, and I can't do that. It was big dog's dookie. I wasn't carrying big dog's dookie down the street, so I just said, fuck it. I got up and nothing tumbled. Look at him. You're just gonna jump down. You stay up here with me, buddy. Haslin, stay with me. Stanko Vicino. I ain't walking away yet. Look at my butt print. I have such a beautiful butt. Vinny had such a beautiful butt. I have a beautiful butt in the next timeline too. But I'm not transgender in the next timeline. Look at that hot spot from the nutsack. The nuts are right there. See the hot spot? Right where the nuts were. Look at it. So I guess we'll try and hide the cigarette in my hat band where it won't get fucked up by the hoodie. Get all tore up. This is so cool, his little footprints. I took pictures of those and sent them off to my sister and my ex-wife. You're with me for the weekend, buddy. It's okay because I love you and I'll tend to you. You'll have snacks. Whatever I eat, you'll get to eat some of it too. You shivering? I think he doesn't like to show it when he's uncomfortable. I think he tries to hide it like I do. My ex-wife thinks that I'm just a glutton for sympathy, impotent, and, you know, people to feel sorry for me, empathy and shit. Because the bitch don't know who I am now. That may have been who I was, a product of my raising, that inbred piece of shit. But who I am now, I don't tell anybody about my suffering. And God knows. And God proved it by having my sister, my beautiful artiste sister, in Florida. Her name's Jonna. She's a mysterious woman. Yes, a spiritual woman who has done some astounding artwork that would just blow your fucking mind if you could see it. And it should be in a gallery somewhere. It should be on the internet. I mean, Abramovich painting with dookie and blood and piss has got nothing on my sister's artwork, okay? And that's what's sad about this timeline is people like my sister, people like me who couldn't get acknowledged for our art up against what was shit. Literally, it was shit. Literally, in my sister's case, shit got uplifted above her art. Shit, yo, dookie. Can you imagine getting wrote about as Bill Gates in the next timeline? He got undone. And you uplifted Dookie instead of Vinny's sister and her astounding artwork that was hidden in a fucking condominium in Florida on the wall. The whole time it should have been in a museum because she's one of the most astounding artists of this era. She suffered as a child and it came out in her art. Yes, it did. My sister's art will blow your fucking mind. You know, if I have to say that, and if I'm the only one who says that, that's pretty sad for this fucking timeline. I'm saying it from a future timeline. You know, and I hope my sister graduates, because, well, she looked out for Pre-Benny. She looked out for me here in this timeline when nobody else would. She was a hot white bitch, okay? Up against all these rancid white hoes who got to spend their money on fucking meth, who will use their driver's licenses and their vehicles to go get more meth instead of drive Vinny around, find out where he needs to go, what he wants to do with his day, because it'd be more beneficial, and Vinny would sexually satisfy you many times throughout the day. It's like, so you just kind of fuck yourself. I mean, if you're a woman of this era, because, well, you're triggered to fucking want to be fulfilled all the time. And this is a guy who has it for you. He can do it multiple times a day. Yeah, multiple times. Fuck yourself because you're stupid. They programmed you to need it, but they programmed you to run from what can provide it. Okay, this little van's finally pulling out. Wonder if they slept there all night. If they just slept a couple hours, or if that was even somebody sleeping. Probably was. You see a lot of people sleeping in their vehicles in parking lots around here. And when I see a woman, I just, you know, I almost, it's hard to have empathy for her, because, well, hey, all you have to do is hook up with Vinny, who would have gave you a bed to sleep in. Unless you can't function as a woman, because you're too rancid. If you don't got dope, you don't want to give it up. And Vinny don't want no dope hoe anyway. Yeah, it's like having to watch out. I'm watching out for him in this timeline. I would rather him not have anything when he comes back than to have something that's gonna fucking be burning his life down, fucking manipulating him and shit, and trying to distract him from what he needs to finish doing. Because there's a lot of shit Vinny needs to finish doing here. So we're gonna walk out there and hit them trees. I guarantee you he's gonna hit at least half them trees, at least half of them. He might hit every one of them. If I start over here at this pole and go boom boom, boom 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 boom, this little dog will pee on all them trees. He's shaking, so we're gonna walk, warm him back up. Okay, it's about 10 after 10 a.m. Just got back from Family Fair. They didn't have no lines open where you could get service. You had to self-serve yourself, which sucked because I had a bottle of vodka. And then I needed cigarettes too. And I had to push the help button, wait for the heavyset white bitch with red hair to come help me. And she goes and gets me the wrong kind of cigarettes and brings them back. I didn't even say Marlboros, I said Newports. And then she doesn't even bag my groceries when she comes back. She just walks away and goes over and stands to talk. It's like, well, if you're just going to stand there and talk, why didn't you throw my shit in a bag while you were, you know, you were right there taking the top off the fucking vodka, you know? So I don't know, it's just kind of an aggravating thing. You know, there's no sense of pride in one's craft or their job. You know, and this bitch is like, oh, well, if that's how you take care of your job, your pussy's probably rank. I wouldn't want to eat it. Yeah. Half the shit I'm saying anymore is just crazy sounding, ain't it? Yeah. Shit. Crazy as hell. Got some motherfucking corn dogs cooking. Gonna have corn dogs. So I'm hungry for some reason. 15 spam emails from Trump. And there'll be about 30 more throughout the day. It's really aggravating.
Motherfucker don't mean nothing he says. Just a little coward puppet controlled by those who know his pedophile secrets. And everybody thinks he's all that. He's a motherfucking controlled little bug pedophile. Just like everybody else who agreed to let the coronavirus be part of their fucking paradigm. Okay, it's scary. This is the Honorable Robert Redfield. He's either a horrible liar, this fairy tale spreader, propagandist, or he's completely full-blown retarded. If he believes what he's saying there, he's full-blown retarded. Either way, the fact that he's saying it is scary. This is supposed to be somebody that you would trust to give an honorable, fact-based decision about something. And here, everything he's saying is fairy tale. Not one bit of fact. Not one bit of fact. It's like, is this guy's brain really that fucking devoid of any coherent thought? That's sad. That's Robert Redfield for you, the Honorable MD. Wait right there. You wait for me. You lay down, be good. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. You wait. Wait on. Yes, you are. Let's see if the intercom works, huh? Check this footage. It's kind of the cheap, easy route to decide to just league with other white devil pieces of shit, thinking against somebody that you don't know. Making your mind up about them, your judgments and your assessments. And you haven't even interacted with somebody even more than a week. It's like, yeah, I put him in the tub and ran the water and soaked him under the water a little bit. I didn't wash him again because, well, I just washed him and I don't want to put his hair through all that. But I did want to, like, try and drown some of his assailants. Yeah. Man, you know what we're seeing a lot of? Time travelers. Okay. I mean, it is for real. Time travel-y bullshit. Alright. Stuff that wasn't there before. It wasn't there before. Look how many views it has, though. As if it's been there since 2012. Dude, if you watch this video and you're as old as me, you know this wasn't here before. This music act wasn't here before. These motherfuckers may have been alive, but they were not put together as a music act. Okay? It's just one of them weird things. Yeah. This didn't happen in 1981. I was here in 1981. Well, Pre-Vinny was, and his physical memory would have it. Okay? Because this is a live video that would have been played on MTV a lot. Okay? Think about this. The era back when Pre-Vinny was watching MTV and VH1 religiously. He would have seen this. This video, if it existed in 1981 or 82, would have been on VH1 or MTV. It's just a fact. And there's a comment in there from like somebody who's supposed to be the bass player of this band. Oh, I'm so happy to see an ungrainy version of this video. Come on, you know this video was shot professionally. You know that's professional shooting. Professional angles. And this video didn't end up on fucking any fucking format. Which tells you, and this is a lot of stuff. I mean, if you haven't been here, if you're only 30, 35 years old, you don't know this stuff. You don't know what they're doing to you guys. You don't know what wasn't here. You don't know what they're passing off as having been here. Okay? Now how they do that? How they put it in your memory? Oh, they were always there. How does it take a duality spirit to bring it to your attention? You know? I mean, it doesn't really. Monograph has talked about this stuff. Okay? Other entities have talked about this stuff. But we've been able to show you, like, the exact entities. Okay? We're not saying that these entities didn't live here, weren't born here. But these guys were not a music act in 1989. And this fucking ridiculous shit that they're doing, passing off as a song, with them beautiful black women on stage dancing, just making your dick so hard. It's like, oh shit. It didn't happen. Okay, another thing about this music act, okay, is this singer is not endearing the crowd at all. Nobody from this band even acts like the crowd is there. Can you imagine being in the crowd at this live show and they're right there in front of you, but they won't acknowledge you're there? Good performers, when there's people who have energy towards them in the crowd, they try to respond to that energy. And these guys, it's like, well, what were you, a freak show? So everybody just looked on at you and, like, you know, some kind of awe, spectacled awe. The fuck are we looking at? You know what I'm saying? Throughout this live performance, there's not any acknowledgement of the audience. Cameras show the audience. There's a huge audience, supposedly. Not one of these entities on stage, except for the dancers, who aren't there right now. But they were on either side of this dude in the middle. Yeah, it's like, they're the only ones who acknowledge that there's people. These fuckers here are like animatrons at Chuck E. Cheese's. For real. For all the acknowledgement they give to the energy of the crowd. There's a crowd there, there's energy. There's collective energy. How will you direct it? Being the energy conductor in the center of the stage. This person never even decided to conduct it. As well, you know, you travel back in time, you decide to be a freak show act. Just for the fuck of it. Put something in there that wasn't there before. That's all this was about. Just to put something there that wasn't there before. That's the whole reason they walked it out. Imagine getting paid for that. That's bigger than your little 3D George Soros hired fucking rioter / protester right there, buddy. You travel back in time to destroy some shit. Fuck. Here's something that nobody under 35 will be able to remember. But you remember this guy, Andy Kaufman, imitating Elvis on TV repeatedly? How many of you remember the time that he imitated Elvis, and when he turned around from combing his hair like he does at the beginning of this skit every time, it really was Elvis? But it was like Elvis in his prime. It couldn't have been Elvis in the 70s, you know, when he was already fat. And he did not look like Andy Kaufman at all. He didn't have his little mole on his cheek. He had Elvis's high cheekbones. He looked just like Elvis Presley. And like, you know, one of Elvis's movies from the early 60s, mid 60s. The one where Elvis is in the white suit. I think he married off a bunch of women or some shit. Because he didn't want to be married to him. He just wanted to fuck them. So, anyway, this skit ended. I mean, this was before Andy Kaufman became a big old dumbass who wrestled women, okay? This was when he had some brilliance to offer before he got devolved by whatever happened to his mind. Baby blood, whatever. Because I do believe that they have fucks with their minds, and that's why celebrities are so retarded now. Sports figures, too. The baby blood. The tortured baby blood. But I want y'all who are older and remember seeing these on TV to think back to the one that you've seen where he looked just like Elvis. Andy Kaufman wasn't on stage anymore. It was Elvis. Young Elvis. He wasn't dancing around like this clown imitating Elvis. He was just Elvis. And here's the thing. When he got done with it, he didn't end it like he always did with, thank you very much, like he does here on this video. At the end of the video, he's like, okay, I'm gonna blah, 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 while y'all try to figure out if it's really me or not. And it was Elvis, you see? And you sat there dumbfounded, even as a child, wondering how this got pulled off. Now, in this quantum era, when time travel is so common, you understand what could have happened on many different levels. You see, to create the historic marker, and it's video, and it's historic. If you're under, I don't know, how old is from 1980 to 2020? If you're under 40 years old, I guess you ain't gonna remember. You gotta be 50 at least to remember this shit. See, that's what they've done is they've ruined the minds of young people where they don't want to hear the stories of the old people. So that they can just create whatever they want history to be. Oh, it was really this. Well, you don't got the old person to refer to tell you the truth now, do you? Because you didn't care what he had to say. Yeah, and you let his videos get took off YouTube before you actually got a chance to watch them. Oh, but you did get to see some dumb shit. Oh, some more Lil Wayne. And You know, some more crybabies who write hate speech with nigga in it and then cry when a white boy sings with them. It's like, oh, goddamn, now you really fucking mentally deranged. Making money off calling your own race something and then crying when somebody else sings with you. You hate speech writing little parasites. Disgusting. Destroyed the genre. Between y'all and Eminem, you couldn't shit on it worse. Everything pretending to be gangster rapper, everything whoever said nigga in a lyric. Yep, that includes Tupac's faggoty ass once they threatened to fuck him in his ass if he didn't become a thug. We're gonna fuck you, boy, till you bleed out your ass. Okay, I'll be a thug. Okay, yeah, put thug life across my chest even, nigga. Yeah. He was a true turncoat sellout. Yeah. In the house with Whitey. Tupac. Anybody they elevate as a black hero was turncoat. You figure that out eventually. There ain't one famous black they elevated that's not turncoat in the house with Whitey. When you figure that out, you'd be like, oh my God, look at this fucking betrayal shit. And you'll start hating everything famous that's black if you're black. Yeah, you'd be like, ugh, sports figures, ugh, disgusting, ugh. I'm not a white girl anyway. What do I got fucking for a fucking sports figure? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you start copping that attitude. Yeah. And you see a famous black motherfucker, it's like, yeah. You don't want to touch with some fucking nasty, decrepit fucking gargoyle white bitch already rode anyway. Girl, you need a black king, not a black jackal. I've been set up on the floor in there for a while for sex. I have even closed them blinds and reopened them because, well, I'm gonna have some corn dogs first. No, I changed my mind about having the sex until I eat. My dog should be dry soon. I'll be able to take him out as well. Click. Just while I wet him down, set him in a tub of water so some of his fleas could get drowned and die. Didn't bathe him yet. He will soon, probably. Yeah, trying to think where we could go. Not too far, it won't be an inconvenience. Probably go down to the garden or something. The community garden. I don't know. I just can't get enough of that sweet stuff, my little lady, get behind. Oh, well, I just can't get enough of that sweet stuff, my little lady, get behind. Oh, I'm looking at 2020 and I'm thinking about 1979 when I was going on 16 years old, driving around on a permit in Detroit as if I had a driver's license. And the big rock song at the time in rotation was Paul McCartney and Wings, 1985. And that was the hook. Oh, and the spooky keyboard. Dun, 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 dun. I just can't get enough of that sweet stuff, my little lady, get behind. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, and that's what you remembered of that song. even though there was a lot more to it. You know, talking about 1985. Ding dong ding 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 ding, and 1985 will ever do. Some bullshit like that, you know. But yeah, that's real memories from teenage life. Because, well, there was always the chance that the Beatles could graduate from this Preexistence. I know they didn't, but there was always the chance, you know. We know no rappers graduate from here. So none of these kids' memories will remain intact if any of them do graduate from here, which they probably won't. So, you know, it's kind of a moot point, right? Yeah. Little dog's down there sleeping. Oh, why? Well, I just can't get enough of that sweet stuff, my little lady. Get behind. I want to defile you. Should I call this video that? You know what, to get a lot of hits for a couple seconds until they realize they have to actually wait for the defilation content, right? I just yanked my head off my head. It's got a doobie in the hat band. There we go. Got the doobie. And I was following my little dog. Actually, I had 2 cigarettes in my hat band. I was following my little dog. We're out in the super cool little minivan. It's 8:58 p.m. by Eastern Standard Time by a clock that's 7 minutes fast. Yeah. And I was following my little dog down the street. I didn't want to go too far because, well, I've been drinking. And I don't want to run no risks with him, you know, because I love him too much to risk anything with him. And we went down to the stop sign and then back down the other side. And I was thinking how I could follow his little white pom-pom, waving back and forth with every step, catching the light everywhere. I could just follow that all night. Because, well, it's pure. It's just. It's of good report. This little pommy's pom-pom waved it back and forth in the wind. And we have some nosy fuckers cruising through real slow in their pickup trucks. It's only 9 p.m. at night. Not even that. Okay, that's one of the things. Probably the dad. He's the one who cruised out the truck earlier today. Now I'm smoking on a combo doobie. Got the minivan started. Yeah, some meat kicking. It's 34 degrees out here. No, it's 45 degrees out here. It said 34 when I started it, but that's what it was when I started it this morning. So it's 45. It's cold. I got winter coat on. The keys are in the ignition, so I don't have to worry about getting in.
stepped out to hit a cigarette. And I went down to the trees, and then I came back. And the screen was locked from the inside. Simply because I pulled the screen all the way to, and then it locked. So then I had to stick my hands through the screen, bust the screen open, you know, and open it. So then I had to fix the screen, pull the little thing out that holds the screen in place and put the screen back in, and then, you know, put it back in place and put the little seal back in place to hold it in place. But it was like, shit, man. And you know what's weird is reaching for a coffee when there is not one, because I didn't make one. You know? It's like, you can tell I'm Vinny from the future timeline. I didn't make a coffee to come out here. I didn't make a coffee for the walk. That's just for those who doubt. You know, hey, this motherfucker's bullshitting. There's no way he's Vinny from the future timeline. Yeah, there is. Right here's the proof. I don't have a coffee. Vinny from this timeline would not venture out of the house without a coffee in his hand. A coffee and the leash, the retractable leash, that he needs a new leash. He needs a new retractable leash. But he would, it's like those two things are in his hand at the same time. And they weren't in his hand just now. I just saw a light go on in the back of the new house of the Sings. Either they're there or it's in a motion cam light and he caught something walking in the backyard. It shut off pretty quick, so it was probably somebody turning on the light. Yeah, see, it's back on. And then it's back off. It's back on, it's back off. If it's a motion cam light, it's set to just turn off immediately. Yeah. You can just set it for longer than that. So we're sitting in the super cool minivan and heating this up a little bit. I talked to my neighbor Mimi a little bit and gave her my cell phone number so she can text me if she has any problems. And she gave me her cell phone number. I'll probably text her soon because, well, I won't hang on to the piece of paper that it's on. It gets shoved in a drawer somewhere. That's what Vinny does, pre-Vinny. So when he gets back, I'm gonna have all them receipts shoved in the drawer. So I will text her when I go to dispose of the piece of paper. Starting to feel the warmth finally. Yeah, it's warming up. Let's just kick that shit up for a minute. We'll turn it down a notch. It's too loud. It's 9:05. Yeah, but the clock is 7 minutes fast. Yeah. There's only 5 cars in this lot with 20 spots. This is one of them. This is one of the 5 cars. It tells you something about these people. Nobody here drives. Nobody here has a driver's license or a car. Only 5 people. I'm one of them. Ain't there some shit? And was a whole bunch of people sitting out here. I should have went up and sat there and conversed with them. And instead I didn't. Because, well, I was trying to act like the Preexistence would. Which he would keep to himself. You know? I am not inclined to do that. I would have him knowing everybody in this apartment complex before he gets back. You know? But Mimi next door is an older woman. And she still, I mean, she has this thing where she might freeze in place. Right? Imagine bending her over and she froze in place while you're fucking her. And you don't even realize she froze in place. Yeah, there's lights going on and off. Oh, there's this thing over there. Okay. So you can see him come out with his turban. His silhouette. Yeah. And he turned the light on and walked out here where you can see his silhouette. So he walks away. But yeah. Mimi next door, I gave her my cell phone number in case she has any problems. Because, well, she has this thing where she might freeze in place. So it's like, hey, if you froze in place when we bent over while I'm fucking you, I'd still keep fucking you. Haha. Yeah, you just have to bust out of being frozen in place from me slamming that pussy so hard. Yeah. I don't know. She is not a bad looker for her age. If she wanted to fuck a couple times a day, I'd fuck that bitch. I wouldn't want to get up on nothing where, oh, she wants to fuck one time a week or something, because, well, that's just a teaser. I need to fuck a whole lot more than that, at least once every, day. You know, I mean, if I'm fucking you once a day at least. You know? And, see, that's why I tear pussy up when I have pussy. I just rip it up. I fuck it all up. I wear it out real quick. Because, well, while I can get it, I want to get it. A lot of it. Every day. If I can get it 5 times a day, I want it 5 times a day. You know? What woman can keep up with that? With that wear and tear on her pussy? I know the female Vinny could, but what about a real woman in this 3D timeline, you know? You know what I'm saying? What about a real bitch? Is there a real bitch that can take that wear and tear? Motherfucker fucking the shit out of that shit. 5 times a day, just ripping it up, murdering that pussy, right? To the right bitch, that's an awesome idea. But it's like finding that bitch in this little town. That's, she won't get this far in the video. You see, that's what's sad. But she'll be in the mainstream and shit, and I can't stand mainstream. Just 2 beats of that shit, and I won't even be wanting to fuck with her. As soon as she shows that that's what she's into, I won't want to fuck with her. Oh, you're into mainstream music. Okay, Drew. My dick won't get hard for the bitch. You know? I need like an Amish bitch. Or a bitch from another country that doesn't get into our bullshit. You know, our mainstream bullshit. Because, well, our mainstream bullshit is repulsive. And they can't see it, those who are into it. They can't see that it's repulsive. It's nasty. You know? 9/11 backlogged to 7 minutes fast. There's Doobie is fat. I'm smoking on a fat motherfucking doobie, yo. It's fatter than a cigarette. Yeah. Combo doobie. The homegirl my kid gave me up against some hash and some shake or whatever, you know. This doobie is awesome. It's creating some awesome smoke. Some awesome smoke. Aslan, I'm glad he's gonna have some fucking frontline or whatever it is, Tuesday or Thursday. Within the next week, he's gonna not be having the problems he's having because the fleas are gonna be running. They're gonna be trying to get away. They're gonna work their way to his ass. He's gonna be chewing on his ass for the first month or so. But you'll see the second month into it, by the end of the month, he will have gotten rid of these things. So I already know I'm looking to help buy him some more shit for the next month. His shit will already be bought, but the cats have to be bought too. Because, well, they come in 3-packs, so if he got 1 pack, he's got two more. But the cats, so it's like we have to buy for the cats. So that, you know, it's like you can't have him get rid of the fleas and the cats have the fleas because he'll still have the fleas. So to get rid of the fleas, you have to get rid of them on the cats too. That's what's fucked up about it. Is the cats. It costs a lot to get rid of the fleas on all the animals. Alright, y'all. You wanted to shoot a video for you, even though there's no reason to do it. There's no reason. Did we shoot more than 20 minutes? That's another question. Yeah. We're only 6 minutes into it. 7 minutes. Then, you know, 16 minutes. Okay. That makes more sense. There's not a whole lot to say tonight. My little dog is staying with me till Monday. I don't know if that means that the cats are going to be left alone all weekend or what. I ruled the thought, so I don't even think of it. You know what I'm saying? He seems dejected being left with me. I feel bad for him. It almost is like he takes it like he's being punished. Living my life with me. I feel bad for him. He loves me. This little dog loves me. You can tell he loves me, but he doesn't love my life. He doesn't love what he has to do while he's with me. He doesn't love it not being with his kitties. I can deal with it, I guess. I mean, you know, pre-Vinny was dealing with it with alcohol, and that's how I'm dealing with it. A lot of vodka. I drink more vodka than pre-Vinny did. He could get by on a lot less vodka than I do. Here has no scratching and chewing on himself. And I soaked him for a long time earlier in the tub to try and drown whatever it is. To try and drown whatever it is that's attacking him. because I don't want him to be attacked. And he's scratching like crazy. Yeah, and that's gonna be 2 or 3 months of that as the fleas die off of him before they're finally gone. Because, well, flea shampoo won't work. We've already ascertained that I kill a bunch of them, but there'll still be a bunch left. Gotta get that bullshit put on their neck, the topical bullshit, you know. I have to go in with this dog, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid because I want to make it all the way in, and I'm afraid I won't make it. But who do I call to say, hey, help me in with my dog? You know what I'm saying? Who do I say, hey? Because everybody would judge and then want to leave my dog with me no more, you know? And they should be like, hey, what about you? What about you? Hey, what about you, right? That's a good question. What about you? Because there doesn't seem to be a lot of concern about you. Or me. Because we're just like all the rest. Looking too hard at something he's got. I'm moving too fast to rest. Like a monkey on your back, you need it. But do you love it enough to leave it? I'm just a lonely man there on the corner. What I'm waiting for, I don't know. Oh, but I wait every day now. I'm just waiting for something to show. Oh, I'm the lonely man there on the corner. What I'm waiting for, I don't know. Oh, but I wait every day now. I'm just waiting for there's something to show. Oh, nobody knows me. Ain't nobody cares. And there's no hiding place. There's no hiding place for you and me. Are we just like all the rest? Looking too hard for something he's got. Or moving too fast to rest. Like a monkey on your back, you need it. But do you love it enough to leave it? Vinny cried. Vinny cried as this played through his heart while he loved his kitties. When he packed up his shit to move away from his kitties. This played in the soul and he cried. He cried so hard. And I cry at the physical memory because goddamn it's hard and it's horrible. This motherfucker wanted to die and get hauled out in front of his kitties rather than his kitties see him move away. His kitties watched him move their bed out of the lab. His kitties watched him move stuff. And he still left a lot of stuff. Because he didn't want to take it away from his kitties. And it's just as horrible. The heartbreak this guy endures. He endured. Yeah. I can't show you the tears streaming down my face right now. I'm wiping them away as fast as I can because I don't want the world to see this. I don't want the universe to see it. I don't want anything to see it. I cried so hard just now in response to Vinny's memory of leaving his kitties and of Ronnie murdering his kitties. It's like, dude, how do you do this to somebody that all they wanted to do was be a minister to homeless animals? How do you do this to them? How do you, in this timeline, stand by? All you can do is thumb down his videos and make negative comments if the comments are open. How? How do you let this stand? I'm so heartbroken at the lack of good humans, you know? Because it's a lack of good humans that make this possible upon this entity, you know? Look at the millions being dumped in this shit, dumb shit. You see it on the news every day. It's your dumb shit. $220 million got dumped into that. I didn't need anything really compared to that. Less than 1%. It's horrible. It's sad. It's disgusting. You know, tell the timelines, it really is. It's disgusting. I could just lay back in this seat, go to sleep and die. But what would happen to this little dog? I have to make it back into the apartment. Do you see? I don't care about the video. Fuck it. If it never gets posted, it never gets posted. So what? Who's going to change from hearing this? Who's going to decide, hey, wow, this guy's so traumatized by what we are. Even his spirit from the next timeline is traumatized by it. Yeah. Who's going to be that conscious of what they are? What woman is going to decide she wants to be woman enough to be man, you know, be with this motherfucker as her man? You know? I understand the impossibility of, you know, Vinny's plight, finding a woman who could replace his ex-wife. Not like he wants a replacement for her, but he wants somebody that will be more with him and for him than she ever was. And you won't find that because, well, you can't even find what she was on that level for him, you know? Yeah. Can't even find a cuckolder for him. An adulteress. That's sad. Because this guy, it's like he had so much more to offer than the average guy. I'm smoking on this combo doobie, this big fat combo doobie. It's about what? 9:20 p.m. See how early it is, but it seems late around here. There's nothing happening out here. There's no people. Tonight I'd go up and approach people. See, that's what's weird is there's always people when you wouldn't approach none. But when you would approach some, there's nobody. You know? And I need some pussy, so I would be approaching all the women folk tonight. Mimi's old ass. I would fuck that old woman. I don't know if Vinny would, but I know I would. I'd bend her right over and there she froze in place. I just keep fucking her anyway. Until I hit her hard enough with my pelvis to fucking break her loose. Yeah. Sick thoughts. I'm a sick individual. Yeah. I was in this timeline too. That's why I got chosen. Believe it or not, I got chosen due to my illness, my mental illness. Yeah. I believe that with all my heart. Mental illness was the reason I was chosen. Yeah. And that's why I do the shit I do. Multi-timeline shit. Astroscape shit. This doobie is almost gone, finally. I mean, it's down to a roach. Finally. I smoked the fuck out of this bitch. That was a fat fucking doobie. I'm still smoking on it. My dog's over there sleeping in the driver's seat. He doesn't give a fuck. I love him for that. But he'll just chill. He'll just hang till it's time. And then he'll get up and he'll do whatever. He'll go snip poles, piano, trees, bushes, flowers, whatever. Whatever there is for him to approach and pee on. He will approach it and sniff it and pee on it. This motherfucker's predictable in that sense. So like if we're walking up to a pole, I know I can click the thing and let him have some more leash, because he's just going to run up to the pole. And then when I get up to the pole, catch up to him, I can click the thing to lock it back in place. So he only has as much leash as is there. And then when we're going to, if I see another pole or tree that I think he's going to approach, I can click it to loose it again, so he can get ahead of me to get to that pole or tree. You see? And that's how I walk him. But you have to be careful because, well, he could run across the driveway when somebody's going to back out. Or, you know, there's just a lot of weird little shit. Bikers, people on bikes, you know, all kinds of weird little shit that you would not think you have to look out for, but believe it or not, you do. And it's best to keep them on a short leash. When you're going to let them run off, you know, you're going to click the leash, let them run off. You look behind you, there's nothing there. There's nothing in front of you. And there's nothing to the side. So he's not going to veer to the side. You see? And you make sure that the amount of leash you give him is not more than he would need to get out into the road. In case he does do some dumb shit, like head for the road to go across the street. Because while he has no conscience about the street, to him it's just a trap. And he'll run right across it. He doesn't care. This little dog has gone like that. And I don't care. You can't teach him different. I'm hoping John will, though. Once I'm dead, John's walking him. He'll teach him how to cross the street proper again. All that good shit. John ain't a bad dude. Lisa was mine and he stole her, but she was never mine really anyway, so. She could be stolen from me, she wasn't mine. So, I don't care. It's one of the weird things you don't care about. Because, well, does the important shit get took care of? The cats. Are the cats getting fed? The outdoor cats getting tended to? You know, that kind of shit. I miss being a minister. Vinny does. It's in his spirit memory, his physical memory here. It's hard to deal with the pain this guy is going through. And I don't even have to deal with it because, well, I'm from the future timeline and I don't deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Another half a Dewey right there. We ain't gonna smoke that, yo. I didn't even know it was there. I would have smoked it first, probably. Okay, as we're gonna try and make our way to the apartment. It's only a quick trip up to that door and in 2 doorways. If you don't distract me too bad, we can make it. Hey, look at that. You're already leashed up. God damn, if that ain't fucking convenient and awesome. Let me get a cigarette. Then I'll grab you. Look at how soft you are. Just from soaking you today. You're softer. The conditioner must have needed to be rinsed off more, huh? See why you're chewing on your paw? You got a hot spot? I see that. You got a big old hole on your other paw. Yeah. You just been chewing today, huh? Wait till your mommy sees that. She's gonna be like, what'd you do to my dog? And I didn't do nothing to you. You did it to yourself. You chewed and chewed until there was a big old red hole. And now look at your paw. Look at your leg. Damn. That's disgusting, ain't it? Kinda is. Let me get a cigarette out. I'm gonna get a cigarette on the way up there. Wow. I'm scared to get out of this van. I'm going to film when I get inside. And I'm going to text somebody right now. Yeah, because somebody needs to know I'm about to head in. With this little dog. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. That's negative drama fear shit. I don't do that shit. We're gonna be alright. It's fucking a matter of 40 feet. 100 feet at that. If we can't do that, we're too fucked to be living.